Hi there. You have Morgan Petty with Rethink Retail, and today I am joined by Scott Langdock. Scott has over 30 years of technology and leadership experience spanning CIO, CTO, market research, and strategic consulting, also leadership roles. He's previously served as the CIO at Raleys SuperMarkets. Additionally, Scott led retail advisory practices at AMR Research, which is now a part of Gartner, and IDC. Now, Scott leads Amazon Web Services worldwide strategy, thought leadership, and solution guidance for grocery, chain drug, and convenience, as well as fuel retail segments. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Morgan. How are you?
Doing great, and it is a pleasure to have you. So, just to kick us off here, you have firsthand experience leading IT at a $3.2 billion, 18,000 employee regional grocery and drugstore chain, as I mentioned earlier, Raleys Supermarkets. What did you learn about grocery industry's most pressing needs in that role?
Well, it was quite interesting because one of the very first things that became kind of a pervasive thing was just how important actual execution and, meeting and exceeding the shopper's expectations was to delivering on brand experience. I think, technology, had often been thought of as kind of a support service more and less so as a strategy enabler. And I think one of the things that I became quite aware of quite early in my entrance into that role was how we needed to make sure that technology and our investments in solution capabilities were there to enable that level of execution, that level of customer experience in such a way that we were contributing to both the success of the business, but of course, as I said, to the meeting and exceeding the expectations of our customers. So brand experience and how we enabled that brand experience through technology was really crucial.
How are you putting that firsthand experience to work for grocery retailers, drugstore chains, and C-stores now?
Well, I think when we look at our industry strategy and how we go to market in talking to grocers and chain drug retailers and convenience store merchants around the world, we really look to say, are the solution offerings that we have focused on driving, the business strategy forward, right? We try to make it less oriented on the specific technology capabilities itself. Those are important, but we want the positioning to be such that we're contributing to those, critical strategic priorities that retailers in the segments I oversee, have on a day-to-day basis. Again, they're very similar to the experiences I had in my CIO background. Are we focused on changing the customer experience? Are we focused on providing insight and action? Are we focused on continual improvement and optimization of how we execute retail operations? Those kinds of things and how they translate into cloud and digital innovations are what's most crucial in how we both communicate with our customers, how we remain customer obsessed at AWS, and what it is we're actually providing in terms of solutions to those customers every day.
So grocery retailers commonly operate high volume, low margin business models. Many leaders in the space are upwards of 100 years old and have renowned legacies. With many grocers working to leverage cloud computing, some intentionally operating a hybrid model, which leverages local and edge computing. Mm-hmm. What best practices do you have for those grocery retailers that are operating this type of hybrid architecture?
Well, I think there's a wide variety of the capabilities we offer at AWS that are meant to support and leverage that hybrid model as you've described it. Retail by definition is a highly distributed, decentralized, operating model. You deal with, tens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of locations. And you have to deal with, certain capabilities that might need to remain, edge-based or location-specific, while at the same time being tightly integrated and, optimized to leverage, the intrinsic value of a lot of the cloud and digital capabilities that many retailers are investing in. So we take that hybrid model into account in our thinking. Oftentimes, if you look at our strategy around like edge computing, for example, the capabilities that we're providing in smart store technology, computer vision technology, collecting store-based data in real time and using that as a part of an analytics strategy. All of those take into account the fact that there are those hybrid models. And part of what we do is we work with retailers to consistently update and optimize their network architectures, their operating environments, so that they can take the maximum value out of their cloud investments while still being still operating in a hybrid model.
So, Scott, some grocery retailers are making a firm decision not to deviate from that human to human experience. Take, for instance, Trader Joe's, which announced earlier this week that the brand will remain committed to associate-led checkout rather than introducing self-checkout. Many competitors in the industry are ready, willing, and getting prepared to innovate, adapt, and to offer new customer experiences and journeys. So since your time at Raleys, you've played a key role in supporting retail organizations' digital transformation initiatives. What are some of the most profound experiments and innovations that you're seeing among fast leaders in the grocery space?
Well, I think the emphasis on this sort of industry evolution is on that customer experience, right? What we tend to talk to customers about is ensuring that their strategy enables what I call checkout choice. In other words, as you said, some retailers may have, for multiple reasons, have a desire to remain focused on staff checkout. Others may have, either for demographic or logistic reasons, a desire for more self-service or mobile enablement, or even some of the newer technologies which we offer in frictionless or cashierless checkout capabilities. But the real fundamental question is, for a retailer and a leading retailer, is, are you enabled to support any or all of those? And be able to adapt the checkout experience, to adapt the customer engagement strategy to your particular locations, to particular customer needs. That tends to be what we see. And we as AWS offer capabilities in customer engagement on a broad sense, again, innovating along with others in some of the newer self-service and frictionless capabilities. But our goal from a cloud and digital strategy standpoint, make sure that a retailer can support any or all of those as a part of their in-store strategy.
The preparedness makes all the difference. Absolutely. How is AWS supporting these fast leaders as they innovate? What solutions are you implementing to help support?
This is where the benefits of being, as a company, being born from retail but built for retailers really pragmatically applies. We stay very focused on and obsessed with what our customers are telling us are their priorities. We really advise grocers, all retailers, frankly, but grocers in particular, to not think about boiling the ocean, right? Not think about trying to adapt or change or innovate in all areas at once, but to find those key solution or key workflow or key customer facing capabilities and new solutions and innovations that they can test, that they can put into trial or into pilot or into proof of concept, that they can then quickly assess, does this work for us? Does the technology provide the sort of operational and financial benefits and customer satisfaction that we want to see? And in those cases where it doesn't, the investment's small, you can turn it off. That's one of the benefits of the opportunities we provide in cloud computing. But if it's an opportunity that does prove out, that does provide those sort of desired strategic returns or customer engagement benefits, then we guide retailers to how most effectively to size and to scale and to put those capabilities into place. So in terms of areas where those priorities are, as I noted, technology, does it affect the customer experience? a tremendous amount of focus today on deeper and broader understanding about customer buying behaviors, both transactional and behavioral. And then in light of the macroeconomic situations, a tremendous higher than usual focus on cost reduction, cost optimization. So technologies and capabilities that will bring that efficiency and flexibility that retailers want to have, both at the store level and at the corporate level.
So we're seeing alternative grocery store formats pop up across the world. Many of these new formats are designed with the convenience factor top of mind. So in some of these cases, the lines between grocery stores and convenience stores are becoming more cloudy, no pun intended. In a recent supermarket news feature, you brought up some specific C-store experiences. So we'll talk about a few of those, and then we'll talk about the ways that AWS is actively supporting these types of experiences.
Talking specifically about, in convenience, one of the areas that's really important is for those customers that typically only go to a convenience store to buy fuel. What is that retailer doing to incent or to influence the buying behavior of that customer to come into the store? How do we take a fuel only customer and provide the kind of engagement and capability so that that customer will want to have, perhaps their lunch delivered out to them, or to have the ability to order, products from the store before they arrive to fuel their vehicle and have that order be automatically delivered to them. So that opportunity to influence purchase behavior, to influence the shopper journey, is an area where we see a lot of crossover between the different retail segments, and investments in customer personalization, in mobile, applications that, are the method by which customers have that relationship with a given retailer and their brand. That tends to be a lot of what we're seeing be able to have that effect on not just the experience, but the influence that a retailer can apply to sort of see, hey, can we get that customer to buy more, to come to our locations more frequently, to be a more profitable customer over time? That's, I think, kind of the commonality that exists between these different retailer formats.
IHL's Greg Busick has recently spoken about the significant impact of inventory distortion. How are grocers leveraging AWS solutions or even managed services such as forecasting tools to support inventory accuracy?
That's a great question, and I've known Greg for a very long time, and he's spot on continual identification of this inventory challenge that exists throughout retail, but it's especially acute in what I call fast-moving consumer good retailers, grocers, drugstores, convenience retailers, where the challenge of out-of-stock conditions or supply, shelf availability, has continually been a challenge. What I call tactical improvements have not resulted in kind of the material or strategic improvements the industry has needed to have. And a lot of that is, as you suggested, oriented around, do the retailers have the necessary predictive insight to create the levels of inventory necessary to support the expected buying volumes without, of course, over-indexing on inventory and then having a tremendous waste problem or a discount or promotion problem. So the big area of focus continues to be on the ever increasing improvement in demand intelligence, demand forecasting capabilities. AWS provides directly Amazon Forecast, which brings a lot of the forecasting capabilities to retailers at a very granular level. Higher levels of accuracy, higher levels of predictability that allow a retailer to, optimize by product, by category, by location, and in particular areas like perishables. The uniqueness of the forecasting models have improved to such a degree that we're seeing really significant waste reduction in perishable categories among retailers. In the case of one of our customers, More Retail in India, they saw a 20% material reduction in perishable, wasted products because of a higher level of accuracy that their forecast brought to them. So I think this is one of the most continually prioritize projects that grocers and food retailers are focused on, if you will. That right product, right place, right price, right time question is kind of the continual area where customer satisfaction, financial improvement really become two of the important metrics if a grocer is doing that inventory optimization work correctly. And demand intelligence and forecast improvements are one of the most important ways that they can do that.
Wow, that 20% reduction is a big deal. We just spoke earlier with the Chief Transformation and Sustainability Officer at Albertsons. And I think
Mhm.
that is, sustainability and ensuring reduction of waste is definitely a top priority for these brands. Scott, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on today. If grocery retailers in our audience want to learn more about what AWS has to offer for them, where can they go?
Well, we'd love for them to visit our industry website at aws.amazon.com/retail. Lots of great content about our focus on this industry. Just recently, we published a new ebook focused entirely on kind of grocery retailing. We call that Grocery Solutions That Innovate and Differentiate from AWS. The link for that ebook will be on the summary with this video. So we'd love grocers to take a look at that, get a perspective, and reach out to us for any further help that they want to have.
Thanks so much again for the insight, Scott. Until next time.